Hello, hello, hello. What's good, everybody? Sorry we're running a little bit late, but hey, it's Tuesday night, so you already know there is no stopping us. We are definitely going to get it in. And tonight, the one's going deep down that rabbit hole with me, as usual, the one, the only, Yennefer Side Piece. What's happening, fandom?
Yo, what is good, DJ? I'm kind of disappointed that, a certain bard didn't end up dying at the cliffhanger of the previous episode, but all is well, all is well.
Oh, man, we're going to get into it. You already know we're talking about that. What's up? We got another one coming down with us. It's the one, the only, AK of Zentria. What's good?
Hey, same old man. Just trying to see what is going on with these new mutants coming around, and what the hell with these busted monoliths and whatnot. We never guessed anything like that, so I'm very curious to see where that's going to go.
Oh man, there's so much to talk about. And I'm in the same exact spot I was in season one. I'm like, we only got 2 episodes left. I'm like, how are they going to wrap all this up? Because they just keep
Mm-hmm.
feeding us and giving us more information and more monsters. And I was like, oh, how are they going to wrap this up in two? But they did it last season. I have total faith that they'll get it done again. It is
Facts.
absolutely amazing so far. I mean, this series got me hook, line, and sinker. I'm loving it. The Witcher Season 2, Episode 5, Turn Your Back, and we open with a woman descending deep into what seems a dark, dank Demeterian dungeon, and it gives a sense of a place that only the darkest and most dangerous mages would be kept here, and the woman's name is Lydia and says she hates wasted talent. She's there to employ him to track and grab Ciri, and it just seems everybody wants this girl. Like, do half the people coming after Ciri even know her powers, or do they even know how powerful this woman is, fandom?
Like, here we are in this damn prison. I'm like, yo, this is Azkaban right here. They're trying to get these Death Eaters, these top tier. I'm like, yo, love it, love it. And it's all about this damn white flame. And they better show us the damn white flame, this emperor, whoever that person is or thing, by the end of this season. Because they're after Syria for a certain reason, and we're seeing it, building up within these past 2 episodes. Like, okay, now I know why.
Absolutely. Do you think half the people tracking this little girl even know how powerful she is and what she's capable of, AK?
I don't think they know unless they're maybe a hired gun. And even then, it seems like the information they have is sparse. They just know they need to get this chick and get her to wherever they're trying to get her. So I guess we'll see exactly how that pans out later, since that guard that was chasing her in the beginning is back now.
Absolutely. The
So
Black Knight, he is back. Kahir coming to fruition. And Kahir, we know, is one of the White Flame's most, loyal assets.
almost
So,
like his left hand in loyalty. Yeah,
so that's do you think that's where he was taken, Ciri, was to the White Flame?
I think he was, but I'm very curious to see how he even ended up where he did and getting back to that form of his life. Because I wouldn't have expected to find him where we found him.
We then flash to Fandom's favorite character, who is just wailing away in the tavern. And unlike David, the waitress wasn't a fan of the bard. She said that she had a deaf brother she would gladly trade places with at the moment. And was Dermain our man who died in the sewers? Is that man's sister she's talking about? What's up, Fandom? You think that was his sister?
Highly doubt it. But the torturing, top tier. Top tier.
Oh, that's so ruthless. Oh, what's up? You don't think, AK, you don't think there was any tie-in when that waitress was talking about her deaf brother? You don't think that was our man Dermain who died down in the sewers who's deaf?
They are not ones to really miss clues like that. Like nothing usually happens just coincidentally here. So I think there's a high chance. Of course, we'll never really have any proof on that, but I think it's a high chance that it could be probable. And also, shout out for like the first West Indian accent that I've heard in this show in 2 seasons. I'm here for this. I love my culture.
Right? And then we couldn't hear from him because he didn't talk. He was just silent the
Mm-hmm.
whole time. So, man, I'm telling you, it has to be a tie-in. I'm with you. And it's ironic, the bard's singing the Burn Butcher song with the fire mage there to have a little chat with him. I mean, you just know that's going to come in and be a thing later. And we see Istrid has been in communication with Fringilla. She says boats are no longer safe, so he's tasked with finding the next underground railroad. It's not safe for elves anywhere right now. And I was like, oh, you get the tie-ins and what they're talking about, but it's just brutal watching that, isn't it, fandom? What they're
Yeah.
doing, how they're
Of
treating each other.
course. years. Like ever since day one, honestly, with this show, when they talk about the elves, it's just kind of like shocked me because normally I think this is like probably like the first series I think where they're like persecuting elves, if I'm not mistaken. So it's like it was really I was really taken back by it, and just still seeing I'm really to see like like comparison. It being Black History Month, I'm like, damn, this is really hitting home.
You know what I'm saying? Like the
Yeah.
tie-in is just strong. But we see the poor Bard all tied up, and I do say poor Bard. I don't know why you hate that man so much. But it seems the Fire Mage Rians wants to have a little chat with him about his songs. And did you think Yennefer was going to get back on that boat, or did you think she'd head out and see what happened to the Bard, AK?
I thought she was actually going to go see what happened, but then I remembered Yennefer is Yennefer, and even if she cares for you, no matter the level, if she has something she feels is more important to her, she's going to go do that. So noble of her to stop and look for a little bit, I guess. But yeah, she had to get the hell out of there. Otherwise, who knows if she could have snuck onto another boat.
Right. Well, she didn't. Instead of getting on the boat, she actually went looking for the Bard, and thank God she did, because I think she ended up saving his
I saw her
life.
getting on the boat.
What's
I could
that?
be misremembering. I said I thought I saw her running away and getting on the boat, but
Oh,
I
yeah,
think I
no.
did. I misremembered that because she paid the whatchamajigga to find her.
Yeah, exactly. And Kahir made it back, but it's to Centra, but she didn't. She's still out there with
Right.
the Bard. And then the sign at the beginning of this episode is a tilted scale. What do you think that's alluding to, fandom? You know how they usually show a wolf or a dragon or a monster? This time it's like a tilted scale.
I think that goes back to how they like test the in Egypt, like the heart and something else. That's literally what I thought of. Is that what they called it?
I was getting it like,
Yours. Sorry, go ahead, DJ.
oh, I was just going to say, I think it has to do with justice, and it's going to be like a tilted justice, an unjust justice going on in this thing. But that's why it's interesting. What do you think about it, AK?
Yeah, that's actually exactly where my mind was going. Back in the day, that's how they did like measure goods for sale and stuff in small villages and whatnot. But that that image they showed us and the weight, that's what's in quote unquote Lady Liberty's hand in front of most courthouse buildings across the US.
Right.
So she's blinded specifically because justice is supposed to be blind, and she has those scales that she holds up. So the scales are askew, and I have to agree with you. I think that just means that some more extra shit is coming, and things are going to be even more out of balance than they already are now.
Geralt ended up asking Istrid for help, but he sounds absolutely insane telling a story. And good thing he brought that demon's head to prove his point. He just plopped it right at his feet. Old boy was like, "Oh, all right." Maybe
You know what though? Why would he not just believe him? Like, you are literally a walking library, sir.
Exactly, talking to a witcher.
It doesn't make sense that he would try to throw shade like that. Like, come on, Ishrid, bruh.
He was just too wrapped up trying to find
get it together.
And then Yen heads to the red light district, knowing the ladies of the street will be a cheap hire to check some jails for Yasker. And never look a gift horse in the mouth, but she should have known that this was a bad idea, shouldn't she, Phantom?
Indeed.
Up here trying to count on a lady of the street to go do some business for you and don't think she's not going to turn on you. It's like, you're out there wanted. You got your face on all these wanted posters. It's like, how do you think this girl's not going to turn you in for even more money than you gave her?
At the very least, I think Yennefer should have found someone younger. Like, I'm sure that town has a whole bunch of homeless kids. Maybe one of them, or just another woman of the night that was in a more, I hate to say this because it may sound bad, but in a more desperate sort of mood, because she would just took the money, did whatever, and came back to get the rest of the money. The lady that Yennefer ended up with, she knows how to play the game, and she's always going to do what benefits her, as we see later.
Exactly. You should have known better. And when those Nilfgaard soldiers... Oh, go ahead, fam.
I wasn't saying anything.
When those Nilfgaard soldiers stopped Geralt and Istrid, like, why not just take their horses and save themselves the walk and some time? Like, they already knocked him out. It's not like they're going to get forgiven for that. So why not just go all the way and get on them horses and get gone? Save your legs, AK?
I honestly wondered that too. The only thing I think that makes it sound weird is that traveling down into that huge gulch of space, the horses might not have survived it, but Geralt didn't know what the thing looked like, so he couldn't prepare for that at all. So
I
I don't
wouldn't
know,
even
just missed opportunity maybe.
I wouldn't even taken it down there. I'd have just gotten close. Like, I mean, that was probably another 50 miles they're going to be walking. I was like, shit, let me get this horse. Maybe it's because you'd have gotten like lynched for being a horse thief and only gotten like put in jail for a couple weeks for knocking out a couple soldiers. Maybe that had to do something.
Maybe they could have like
Nilfgaard.
tracked the horse's tracks or something. I don't know.
I feel it could have been.
That is true. Yeah, they could track the hooves.
Siri's taking her training as serious as ever, and Triss wants her to come in and learn some potions. Like, why isn't she more excited to do that, AK? How come she doesn't want to learn the potions? She just wants to learn how to fight.
Because she is a young lady of action. She spent too much time on the sidelines, and I'm not saying that's what she did, but this is how I see her assessing it in her head. She spent too much time on the sidelines. She's made a bunch of stupid mistakes, some mistakes that got other people killed. And that's what she's holding on to help forge her to be whatever type of powerful she wants to be. The next step on that is one, learning how to handle a sword and fight like there's no tomorrow, and become a witcher. So you put that in, and if it works and it takes, then yeah, that's a very powerful warrior you got there, and she's already destined to become some type of warrior.
Basically, she's about that life.
Yeah, she got to get that shit going. She don't have time for these games.
And then Vesemir just wants a little blood to make more Witchers, like which their world so desperately needs. Like, why is Trish being so iffy about it, fandom?
Because she don't know how it's gonna go down. Is this man gonna just strap her down to a bed and be like, "I don't care, I'm just gonna take your blood," or she knows the process of okay, once you get the blood, X, Y, and Z might end up happening. It may be a sure thing that person will become a Witcher, or the person may end up dying. It's a 50-50 thing here.
That's not very good.
Very true.
Oh man, and then we get over to fandom back again. His favorite character, poor Yasker, seems like he's been going through it all night. And sounds like he was singing like a jaybird, but it wasn't the tune Rience wanted to hear. Like he was telling him everything, but I mean, he's so smart. He was actually giving up everything without giving up anything. It was pretty fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I like that scene. That was pretty tight. What do you think about that, AK?
And it was actually kind of cool. You know, he is annoying at times. I will absolutely admit that. But the kid is decently quick at thinking on his feet. And even with him being in his emo feelings about his boyfriend leaving him, he's still protective of him. You know, he's not gonna give any information that he doesn't necessarily need to give. Just enough to maybe try to satisfy the dude. I mean, that didn't work, but he had to do something. He was not going to give that up at all.
And he even told the guy, he's like, I'm brilliant. I am a genius. Like, listen to what I'm saying. Like, I don't have the information you're looking for. But, that was fandom. Were you actually, I mean, how much were you actually enjoying this poor man being tortured?
9 out of 10.
That's terrible.
Damn shame.
I like how he dropped most people think the fire consumes, but it does unless you're very talented. And I was like, well, Yen's pretty freaking talented, and her magic still got zapped. So what's up, fandom? Is Yennefer going to hook up with this fire mage and learn how to control the fire magic?
Hook up as in manipulate and learn how to control fire magic? Maybe.
Yeah, not hook up like Geralt or Istrid, no.
Yeah, I know what you meant. Yeah, most likely, yeah. Because it seems like it was with time and practice, that would pretty much like be inevitably her future. And then within this episode, I was like, oh, this is just a simple, just like a lighter that is hand. But then in the next episode, I'm like, oh, shoot, this man can do much more than just, a party trick.
Oh, absolutely. And I just remember that Lydia chick that freed him from the cells in the first place was talking about maybe putting another iron in the fire. So is that something you have to like share the firepower, or you actually need somebody else to help you with it? Like, was there some kind of tie-in with that, AK?
I don't know. I found that part to be very interesting too. Because a lot of times, as we've seen in the series, they give you the answers, but it's all in like split truths. So you have to think back later and bring everything in together. I don't know what exactly that was to accomplish. That bothers me. But I'm sure within the next 2 episodes, they'll probably hash it all out just like they did. We didn't think they might be able to do it for season 1, but they did. Absolutely. So here we go again.
Yep, they brought it home. So I have full faith draw them all in. Then he immediately saves the Yaskier, but he's in rough shape. It also looks like Rance burned the guard's strumming finger. Is that going to affect his playing, fam?
At this, I kind of felt bad for him because it's like this is all you got is your voice and your freaking musician hand. So it's like, damn.
I mean, it looked
Even
like
though I won't hear your freaking instrument, your voice is there. So it's like, damn, if only they cut out your tongue too. But still, it's still messed up.
Yeah, it looks like they were like zoned in on his strumming fingers. So I'm like, oh man, is he even going to be able to loot anymore?
Yeah, that could be harsh.
Geralt and Istrid make it to the shattered monolith and both just stand in awe of what they see and don't see. Like, this shouldn't be possible. They're both tripping. And then we get back out to Carmoran, and I like how Vesemir was just straight up with Ciri. Like, there's no sugarcoating her games. Just, we figured you out. You have elder blood running through your veins, which is exactly what we need to make more witchers. Are you down? Like, I just like how straightforward he was with Ciri. I'm liking the Vesemir character, too. How about you, KK?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, it would take a special breed of person to be able to, make the Witchers over the years and train them pretty much personally. He trained all of them together. And for where we're at right now with Vesemir, I don't think he's done anything wrong. I know Triss is pissed at him for almost getting Ciri in. So is Geralt. But the girl said she wanted to do what she wanted to do. Someone that's headstrong like Ciri can be annoying to a fault, but when you look at how her outlook is now versus what we saw her coming up in season 1, she's a lot more grounded and a lot more focused on a goal. And to her, this is just another step to that goal. So I think Vesemir was actually pretty freaking cool in recognizing that.
And he's grown fond of her because the moment she was like, "Oh, I want to be the first test subject," he was like, "Nah."
Yeah,
Like if
he was
he
about
had
to
no
drop it.
attachment, like he would have been like, "All right, let's go." But the moment she was like, "I have to be the first one," he was like, "Nah, I don't know about that, Chief."
Yeah, I mean, he said that everyone's been impressed with seeing her learn and how much time she puts into doing all the physicality that she's doing. So yeah, they respect her. I mean, and I really think they just look at her as their little sister now, so they want to see her succeed.
Absolutely. But like Fandom was saying, like, it was a quick but a searing image. Like when Ciri asked to be made into a Witcher and then Vesemir had that flashback of all the dead little boys that didn't make it through the change. Like, that was so gruesome. So I ask again, like, is Vesemir a bad man or just a necessary evil, Fandom?
Is that even a necessary evil?
Yeah, you need Witchers in the world. You have to have somebody fighting these monsters.
Then yeah, necessary evil.
It's like, that's it. I mean, sometimes you just got to get practical with it. Ciri said she destroyed. What's that?
Not just saying, true enough.
Ciri said she's destroyed so many things and now just wants to heal something for once. Then why not just give this man some of your blood? Like, quit being so hard-headed. Like, she knows Geralt would not be going for this shit. So what is she doing?
Choosing her own path.
Man. I mean, a Witcher's like, there's no coming back from that. Like, you're just in a mood right now. That's not something you just come back like, I was just in a mood. I know I shouldn't have done that. Like, oh no. What's up, Jake Cruz? I see you out there.
I'm still beginning to question, like, because we still don't know, like, exactly, like, what truly Ciri is at that point. It's like, even if, like, she even, like, gets the whole Witcher toxin, whatever, like, will she even be different from an ordinary witch on top of that?
She's got elder blood, so yeah, I think she's going to be far more powerful.
And speaking of, he and Istrid are down in the crevice of the shattered monolith, shattered monolith made, and Istrid is going straight 1-1 and coming up with some crazy theories. And Geralt just smirks and like, I'm getting more worried about you mages all the time talking like that. But just like me, watch, he's going to end up being right. I'm telling you, my man.
Okay. Yeah, let's not step too far in this here, sir.
Oh, it was interesting though when he said before the conjunction and the three worlds collided, there were no monsters. All three species lived on different planes. Like Istrid said, I mean, that was crazy. He said, I've seen them communicating. I assume he was talking about the monoliths, or is he talking about something else? Because it seems like he's on to something, AK.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like the way he explained it, it was kind of like the convergence that was happening in Marvel Comics with like all of the multiverse planet Earths crashing into each other because of some tomfoolery going on in the background. This looks like that same thing. All of those creatures were on their own plane of existence, did not interfere until something happened with this monolith. And now everything's being filtered into this land. So it's like you said, life finding a way. They're on a completely different existence than they were used to. And now that they're back up and about, they are mutating things around them to make sure they can survive.
Yeah, the way
It's
they have
very interesting to see.
Yeah, the way they have in their history is they think like because of the crash, these monoliths just kind of were here because of the crash. But now it's almost seeming like they were put here as gateways and doors for people from these
Yep.
other spheres to come to our world. So, what are you getting about that, all fandom? How are you feeling about all these monoliths and what's going on?
Who the hell put them there, and why are they bringing everyone together?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because
Exactly.
they're still calling out to those other realms right now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Season 3 is going to be fucking crazy.
Oh man, I hope we get more answers in the end of season 2 because I need to know more about these monoliths. And is this witch putting them there as gateways for monsters to come through and get her vengeance, or what's really happening? So,
And are they really monsters, though?
oh yeah, I think they're here to get people, but I do not think that these monsters are after Siri. I think they're there to bend to her will.
I think they're there to either help protect her or just guard her until somebody gets there. Not that they would be going into battle together or something. It's really interesting how they're spinning this web.
Wait, hold up. Wasn't it first like they brought the monoliths? Like brought in like elves, and then it was like other creatures.
Yeah, I think the
Yeah.
elves came through
So it's
too.
possible that like one race probably happened upon Earth, and probably either wanted to go back or invited like their people onto Earth. So they like established a whole monoliths, trying to get some species, their species, to come back or go back home. But instead, they keep bringing like the elves and the other monsters. Like they keep on trying to bring back. That's what I'm getting. That's what I'm heading towards. Maybe
I
that's.
said they brought in they brought humans, dwarves, elves,
Oh, they brought
spears of
in.
beasts
Yep, never
all
mind my theory now.
together from the other things. Yeah. So what happened at the time with all the monsters and all everybody else coming in, the mages weaponized monsters is how they made it. But then once the monsters were gone, there was still this threat that they saw. So then they started weaponizing men, which is where the Witcher strain comes from.
So this ain't Earth then. If they brought in the humans, then.
Yeah, they were all separated on their own existence, but something with those somebody decided that they want to take power of everything, and that's where the monoliths came from as like energy conduits to open the gates to let everything crash together.
The old hag calling it.
Man, yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
that's what's in my notes too.
Yeah.
That bitch has been doing some shit for a long time.
Because the way I look at it, like there's 3 spheres. So the way I was kind of taking it was humans lived on a spheres, elves lived on a spheres, and monsters lived on a sphere. And then all of a sudden, all 3 of them collided. Now, did somebody make the magic for them all to collide on purpose, or was it just a natural thing that happened? But once they collided, the world started intermingling and changing, and that's when they had to start making witchers, because now all of a sudden the human world started having monsters on it. But my question is where do the mages fit in? Were they on the elves and the magical plane? Were they always here with men and just had magic here? Like that's my biggest question: is where do the mages fit in, and how much of this is their fault?
Didn't they say that the mages were just humans, but then they learned the
They learned
elfish
magic from the
and
elves.
then they turn against the elves?
Well, didn't
Yeah.
they have to have? So maybe the elves and the humans were getting together and they were creating mages. Like people with magical blood could be turned into mages. Is that how it works, or?
I don't think. See, like you could say Stregobor is a mage. He's just a magic wielder. I think that's how they see mages, just people that can do magic. Witchers are on a whole different upscale from that, and I
Witchers
think
get
that
mutated.
it was they do to become more powerful. Yeah, but that doesn't happen with a mage. They just learn regular magic. They don't have to take all those potions and whatnots like Gerald does.
But I think they have to have some kind of magical ability. I think that's what they were touching on. Like when
It seems like the second or third generation mages had to be born with something. as opposed to like that first
it ends up being
generation.
genetic.
Yeah, as opposed to that first gen was like, yeah, we were once human, and then the elves taught us something or done something to us.
Yeah, I think they
Possibly,
got
Here's
yeah.
the thing.
babies, and then the magical blood was in them, and so they were able to be created over. Because just like witchers, I think witchers have to have a special thing too. That's why so many of them die in the
So many of them
mutation.
die, yeah.
Because
But
if you don't have that special blood, then you're not going to make it.
here's one thing to notice. It says all of those groups of people collided onto just like one Earth, or we'll call it Earth just for simplicity.
Right.
But if you listen to what the elves are saying, every piece of land, high castles, everything that they used to have were stolen by humans. So I think humans were a part of the group that came in with the monsters and the dwarves and everything and converged all onto the elves' plane of existence. So that's where that conflict came from. And whatever dwarves came over to, I think they're damn near dead. Because we've seen what, 1 in 2 seasons? So whatever wars they were involved in, the dwarves, I think, pretty much got wiped out.
You know what's funny about that prophecy saying that all races going to be wiped out except for the elves?
Yeah.
So
if
it was
it's happening
originally
on that
like,
plane of existence, they would want it for the elves.
Oh,
Yeah,
Jake
sound
thinks
thought.
they got the magic from the elves. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, and the convergence brought the monsters and the people. And magic exists. The trick is harnessing it like the force. And I do. I just feel like, just like Jedi, some people have the midichlorians to be able to harness the force, just like some people have the magic blood or elven blood to be able to harness the chaos. I don't think everybody can do it. I think you have to have
Yeah, I agree.
Which makes everybody like Strogobor and everybody else that want to kill all the elves even worse, because they're just like Clinthia. They all have elven blood and hating themselves on it, like being hypocrites. So that's crazy.
And speaking of which, wait, what episode is it that Triss and Ciri go on that spirit walk?
Oh, that's the next one. That was great.
yeah.
Okay, I'll save my thought on that.
That was fantastic. And yeah, anytime we're doing both of them, we can talk about anything at any time. Like if it's fresh in your mind, don't be afraid to jump on it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I was gonna say, when they were walking through Ciri's memory, there's certain people that it looks might be able to actually see them and talk to them. But the one thing that Trish really notices is Ciri's mom is absolutely looking at her and speaking to her. And then that quick flash that happens, and we go to the night where her and her dad, where the mother and father were talking about Ciri and how she relates to whatever prophecy they were talking about. He wanted to leave that night, but all types of shit went haywire on the ship, and for whatever reason, Ciri either wasn't on that ship or she got rescued and just doesn't know, obviously, because she was a baby. But what if Calanthe saw that shit coming and she had them killed?
That'd be wrong on so many levels, but at the same time, I can see her do it.
I'm saying,
Calanthe loved her daughter. There's no way she had her killed. I'm not buying that. She was fiercely. She loved her family, loved her daughter.
Okay, but to cover up some shit, we've already seen the length that she's gone to hide Ciri from Geralt. I think she might have also known exactly what was going to happen, even though the magic skipped her blood. It went to her daughter, and it's Calanthe's castle. I don't care whether you're your daughter, sibling, servant, whatever. You're going to have spies watching you. So chances are she came up on, the information they were trying to run, and she wanted to make sure to keep Ciri because she probably knows about the prophecy or what could happen, and that's a weapon she wants to wield. Not saying that she doesn't love her granddaughter, but this is Calanthe we're talking about. She is very calculating and cutthroat.
That's true.
I'm just saying I wouldn't put it past her.
Jake says these mages are playing magic. They don't understand. I think they understand to the point of what they want. Like they use it to win. They use it for their own abilities and how much they can get out of it. But yeah, they may not understand like the true force and what it's really powerful. And Ciri's about to show them like what can really be done with chaos.
Yeah, exactly.
She's about to bring it up. But Vesemir and Triss whip up some Witcher juice, and Triss did not realize that Ciri had volunteered to be the first one. And does she have a right or even an obligation from stopping this girl from doing something so dangerous and reckless, Phantom?
Nope, not a goddamn thing. Geralt, one thing, yeah. But Trish, no.
Feel it? Yennefer and Jaskier can't stay out of trouble. They go from being chased from one party to another and then jump out of the frying pan and into the fire when that horse she paid earlier tricks them into running right into the enemy soldiers' hands. Like, sorry, girls got to eat. She's like, should Yen have expected anything more or less than this happening, AK?
Bruh. It's not like Yen don't got street smarts, man.
Right?
She been a hustler from day one. Yennefer, what the fuck were you thinking? You paid this bitch to get you some information. Your transaction is done. Nothing else, because it made no sense that that woman would just be there at that time and say, "Hey, come in here," and
That's
already have the guards in there. That was a setup.
Yeah, that's no ally. You should have known.
Yeah,
better.
not at all. You ain't getting me caught up in this game. Damn it! I need you to do better, Yennefer.
Oh, you got Harry Potter owls dropping all those wanted pictures of her face all over everything. What do you think's gonna happen?
Right, exactly.
Like, come on. And witchers are notorious for their lack of bathing and hygiene, yet Ciri seems to almost be stalling, like she was like, hold on, wait, I just need to do something. And then she goes in there and starts washing up. Like, isn't that her inner voice just screaming, don't do it, fandom?
Repeat this scene. I'm hard to remember.
When they're getting ready to, Ciri was getting ready to become a witcher, and she's like, hold on, I just need a second. And then she goes to her room, and Triss basically walks in on her, and she's like basically taking a horse bath, like washing herself all up. And I'm like, witchers are known for their bad hygiene and stinking. So just the fact that she stopped the witcher process to go in and start washing up, like that just seemed to me like her inner voice screaming, don't do it.
Nah, it's pretty much like damn, I forgot the phrase of it. But it's pretty much like this is like the last time before, okay, could die, could not die. I might also smell good.
Oh, J. Cruz thinks eventually she's going to become a witcher. What do you think about that, AK?
Facts.
Wow.
Facts on facts. I told y'all she's a great student, girl. And she has the look, the very specific look, if y'all Google the pictures, that she has in the video game in her Witcher training. It's happening.
Seems most likely she might like end up like close to death, and the elixir is like right there. She's like, fuck it. Inject.
And yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not sure that potion would have even done too much to her, but once she does really come into controlling herself and practicing what her powers can do, she's gonna be a fucking little monster in all the best ways. And I think the only thing that's gonna keep her from being evil is Geralt in her ear all the time.
We might have had it mixed up because now I remember Triss comes in and suggests there may be another way for Ciri to find to where her powers come from, and it's time to take a trip down the Valley of the Soul. So I guess it is this episode that she ends up doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't run. Like I said, that's why I'm like, if we're thinking about it, just talk about it since we're doing them both together.
It was pretty much Ancestry.com mixed with,
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, if you met this person or that person on the local way.
Right?
You know what? And it ties into what Astrid kept looking at with the bloodline, with Calanthe and Ciri. There's something that wasn't quite adding up to him looking at all these women that supposedly got whatever gene or chemical in their bodies that they had. So he's trying to figure that pattern out.
Yeah. And just a minor detail, did either one of you notice like how pristine that mirror in Ciri's room was? Like every mirror in this show has just been crusty as hell with smoked out edges and blurred out. And here in this half broken down keep, there's this perfectly unmarred mirror that looks like it just came off like a Bed Bath and Beyond shelf or something. I'm like, I don't know why, but that just threw me.
Mirror, mirror on the wall.
I was thinking of that.
What is my little prize Ciri doing today?
Oh.
And that's the freaking owl that everybody seems to be talking to now. How the hell you get this little boy and the Red Priest connected by you, the owl, whoever is the mystery person? There's a whole lot of hinkiness going on there, and I need answers.
Oh, Jake, getting me stoked up. Can't wait to see what we think of the final scene of this series. Oh man, of this season.
Oh, see that just lets you know who's Yennefer is going to be forgotten from everybody's minds.
Oh, I don't know if that could ever happen. But we get back to Geralt and Istrid, and they figure out the monoliths do indeed communicate and that the monster spheres are still there. And they're using the monoliths as gateways between worlds, basically. So they're figuring out that these are doorways. And it was funny when Istrid let the name Yennefer slip out of his mouth, and that excuse me face that Geralt gave. Oh, man, I was like, you said what now?
Bro.
I was dying.
The amount of joy I felt watching Istrid's face as he slowly turned the wheels and figured it out. Like
Oh,
everything he said, Geralt came through with the petty and just one upped him every time. Like, oh, you know Yenna? I know Yen.
right? Like, I know better than
Like,
you, homie.
damn, Geralt.
Oh,
Why you
so
gotta hurt
good.
him like that though?
That was so good. You know,
Like that's
Yenna?
why look, I fuck with a petty that is awesome, okay? And I'm here all out for Gerald's petty.
That was the ultimate petty. That was pretty fantastic. I was dying, absolutely dying. But he had it back though. He's like, "Oh, you didn't know Yenna's alive? Like, oh, I guess maybe I do know her a little better than you." Like,
See,
yeah,
and I respect that petty too.
the back and forth was fantastic. But they weren't even supposed to be able to be seen. So why did Triss try to heal that woman in Ciri's Soul Walk, fandom?
That
Very
is
good
something I
question.
never understood, honestly. Like, it's a freaking like flashback going down like memory, like not your memory, but ancestral memory. Like, why bother? It's like I guess it was just like instinct, like, oh, you see someone hurting, and we try to heal them. At the same time, it's like it's already happened. She's dying.
Right. Yeah, I do. That kind of threw me. I didn't understand that.
What if it's not that? Like, there's something with Ciri's mom, or the queen, whoever she was at that point in time. Something was up with her in Ciri's dreams, or well, in the Vision Quest, and maybe Triss felt that if they could perfectly perceive them, then maybe Triss could actually help. I think she just went on instinct there. But again, yeah, it just too little, too late.
Yeah, it was
She could
crazy.
have door the whole situation now.
I mean, I'm just reading the book how it is, man.
I was just like, she was not feeling Siri when they came back to reality. Like, how are you going to ask this little girl to trust you? Let her she lets you soul walk through her mind. Then you come out screaming, "Stay away from me!" Like something is ending, and it's you. You will destroy us all. Like, well, I guess that's the last time I ever trust anybody. Like, that was just insane.
Exactly. Exactly. That was the most asinine reply that
Trish,
she
you
could have
better.
given. If you right, exactly, and Trish should know better. Geralt and Vesemir invited your ass up here. They don't invite people to come to the crib and hang out. So if you know that's what's happening, you know there's some serious shit. You've already seen that this little girl is too much ingrained on the path she is. You've been trying to pull her back, rein her in a little bit, and it's been working because she does trust you. But now here you go with this fuck shit. One little bit of harmfulness, and you can't see it within yourself to just actually talk to her and explain what you're feeling versus get away from me, you're gonna kill us all.
Yeah, and she knew that this
Like
is
what the
like
fuck?
a dream. Like she didn't know. She's like, it's not supposed to go like this. This isn't what's supposed to be happening. So she already knows
Exactly.
off. So how does she even know this is really the truth or what's going to pass? Like, just do better. I was mad at
I'm
her.
saying, yeah, you're right.
I didn't like that one. So now, of
100%.
course, Siri just wants to go through the changing and get it on and like just become a Witcher. But of course, Geralt arrives just in time to stop it. But I was like,
Just
oh man,
in time.
you didn't really think she was going to go through it right then, did you, fandom? Didn't you know that Geralt had to get there?
Nah, we needed more stakes, and it was not enough yet.
Right. And then on the boat ride back, Kahir has a dream that reminds us all that he was the Black Knight that was riding Ciri back out of Sintra. And we know, like I was saying earlier, that he's working for the White Flame. So many parties are after Ciri. Like, who's going to get to her first, do you think, Phantom?
Oh my goodness. The old hag in the hut, most likely.
Hut? Turn your back on the
the
forest
demon
hut?
spirit. Yeah.
Yep, because Yen, she needs her magic.
So you think that's where Yen takes her at the end? You think that's where they bounced up?
I'm still like 80-20 on that, honestly. Because they didn't show us in the next episode, I'm not 100% sure if she's there.
Feel it. Is Fringilla really trying to keep Francesca as a partner or just playing the long game, AK?
You know what? I asked myself that same exact question. When I started seeing where the scenes were going, I was like, yo, this bitch is playing the Game of Thrones on levels that fucking Varys can't see right now. Like what is in your mind, Fringilla? You just a little too comfortable here. And if you think about the woman, especially the mage that Fringilla is, that's not her stilo at all. So
Or maybe
what
it is,
exactly is
okay?
going on?
maybe everybody's just underestimated because, like I said, if she is, it's working. Like she wants to just take her, like
Yeah,
she got Francesca wanting her to take her down to the dock so her people can meet their liberator, but instead they run into Kahira. So you know this is about to butt heads.
yeah, it's gonna be some crazy nonsense. But Fringilla is playing the game though, so I'm here for that.
And playing it well. And instead of the bard, now it's Yen that's tied to a chair and running out of time. She finally feels that she has no choice but to give in and say the words. Behold the mother of forest, the deathless mother, nesting in dreams. Turn your back on the forest hut hut. I was like, oh shit. And Yen has a little chat with the old woman who says, like, all she has to do to get her magic back is steal Ciri and then deliver her to the right door, the shattered monolith just outside of Sintra. And like I said, I don't know, where are we going with this? Is she going to bring her to that old lady or she got plans of her own, fandom?
Hold on, so that's what it is? That old crack at the door is that place?
What's that now?
Yeah,
Oh,
the
I
crack
didn't
of the
know.
black door. Yeah, because the
Oh,
monoliths are
sure.
the only like super black things like that with power.
Oh, I didn't caught on to that. I was like, is there a freaking door I don't know of? But now saying that, I'm really questioning like where specifically did she land? Because next episode when they like went through that portal, it doesn't seem to be anywhere near that place. I think so. Now I'm really questioning where they ended up.
That's what I'm saying. Where did
Yeah,
she
I think
go?
yeah, I think that demon thing that was down there. I think it was you that said it last time, DJ, that she was trapped down there for a reason, and now that they've let her out, the shit is going haywire. And where Yennefer is concerned, honestly, she's usually good at seeing people that are trying to give false promises and whatnots, but she's put herself into so much more of a desperate state. She doesn't know how to handle it. I honestly don't know that she would give Ciri up. At the last minute, we say Yen is cold hearted a lot of times, and most times she is. But there are those times where you can clearly, very clearly, see the affection on her face for someone, like with Geralt, when they both looked at each other in his room.
Yep.
She's a mystery sometimes, so I think it's a gamble. I want to say she's not going to actually turn her in, but she's going to stick around long enough, I guess, to see what could happen.
Yeah,
Desperate people do desperate things. And if she hears
Yeah, very
about
true.
how the elven queen just gave birth after X amount of years has passed and there's been like, no elven offspring, she's like, wait a minute.
Hmm.
The the old hag in the hut, like
It's
it's giving her
all
something.
connected,
Yeah, so it's
right?
like
Yeah,
maybe she can actually, give me what I need right now. And she's been searching for like a month trying to get her powers back and nothing.
yeah, I think it's going to be some tricky editing. I think she's going to be like, she went in there and she's like, I'm not trying to owe you a debt, but I'll make you a trade. And the witch is like, yeah, I'll trade your powers for Ciri. And I don't think Yen's going to do that. She's not the kind to just fall in for that. So I think she took herself.
exactly.
And she's
Like
probably
if
like,
you
if this woman can use it, maybe I can get my powers back using Ciri, and then I don't have to turn her over.
yeah, like if you're gonna stop your escape to let this random ass dude get on your horse and y'all both ride off into the midnight sun together, I have a very, very hard time believing Yennefer is going to turn Ciri in and just leave with whatever prize she gets. Yennefer wants to be a mother. And it's, again, like I said, it's very clear the feelings between her and Geralt. She already knew Ciri would be his child of surprise that would be with him. That's a bond that isn't easily broken. And Yen's being, lightweight, ruthless, and hardcore right now, but like I've been saying from the beginning, she got heart.
Maybe she's saving her life. Like she told Geralt, Geralt said don't, and she's like, I have to, and she bounced. But yeah, like I said, we don't know where she's taking. Maybe she's taking Ciri to a safer place. Maybe she's
Yeah,
gonna let
they
Ciri.
never they showed them in that room, but they never really confirmed where they were,
That could just be
if I
another
remember
room.
correctly. Yeah, so we'll see, I guess.
Oh man, that's gonna be tight. I can't wait. So let's see what anybody remembers. We got just a few trivia questions before we get moved on to the next one. If you know the answers, write them in the chat box. If you're watching later, put them in the comments down below. Who's the woman that visited the fire mage in the beginning of the show?
Is it Lyda or Lydia? Or something?
Lydia, absolutely. There we
Yeah,
go. Who was the man in the jail when the show opened?
Rianne.
Absolutely. How long had the fire mage been in that jail?
10 years.
Bingo. Oh, just rolling right through. Too easy. What's the one thing Lydia cannot abide?
Oh shit, it was something stupidly petty.
Oh, we got a stumper. We hit one.
Damn it.
Yeah, I knew. I was like, oh, so many questions. They'll think we're done with this one, but one more. What's the one thing Lydia cannot abide?
Oh, oh my goodness. Talented people like locked up or something like
Wasted
that.
talent.
There we
Yeah.
go.
Absolutely. Wasted
That's like
talent.
fucking Calagero's dad in A Bronx Tale. That's why it was in my head.
Nice. Brought it back. How much of Ciri's blood did Vesemir say would protect generations to come?
1 vial.
Absolutely. What does Dol Dusa roughly translate to?
Valley of the
So
Soul.
yeah.
You guys are too good. I'm going to have to step it up. Look at him go. One last
No,
one.
don't you dare.
Where does Dara say he's from?
Oh shoot. What scene was that even in?
Marble Gardens.
Yes, sir. There it is. That's the scene when
all
they're
right, there you
first
go.
off the boat and you have to check
Good
in.
on you, fandom.
And there was like scenes with them when he had braided hair and he was casually just eavesdropping on people's conversations. I'm like,
Kid
no one
looks like a
noticed
grown ass man right now.
Right?
Like when I saw the huge curly Jimi Hendrix afro, I was like, well, shit. This motherfucker's tall as fuck now. His voice done got deeper.
Oh, yeah. He's not a little
Got
boy
the
anymore.
gangster braids in there. Like, okay, I see you.
But on the same note, Ciri's not that same little girl either. She's getting into them teenage years. She's doing it.
Did you notice in her spirit walk when she walked by him, he had the same look? If I remember correctly, it was him with braids eating at the tavern.
No, I think he had a big
I could be
hat
wrong.
on. I think he had a big Rasta hat on.
Did he have the hat on still? Okay.
Yeah, I think he had that big Rasta hat on, hiding all the hair and his ears. Oh, but we're going to keep it moving. Season 2, Episode 6. This one's called Dear Friend. And we open on trip with Ciri giving Geralt the business and the Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Just like little kids on long trips. I was loving that. And then she doesn't even know it, but they are hunting monsters at this very time. And that same flying monster that formed out of those shards from the monolith seemingly attacks Geralt and even worse, killed poor Roach. I was like, no, you didn't. Why you gotta take Roach out of the game?
It was Artax from the Neverending Story all over again for me.
I was dying.
You cannot have my favorite horse going through the swamp of sorrows. That's unacceptable.
And it's almost like Roach like bucked Ciri off and like took it and like took that thing on just to save her.
Yeah, so he was saving her.
Oh, it was amazing. I felt so bad. It was horrible. Oh, but when the camera was above looking down and it looked like we were looking through the eye of the monster, kind of like when we were looking through the eyes of the owl, like is someone controlling this or controlling that monster or warning that thing or warging that thing? Like Ciri even said later she didn't think it wanted to hurt her.
I was thinking the same thing, and it's just like, okay, so it didn't want to hurt you. But then we just thought that Roach was like protecting her. So it's like, was it trying to scratch her or just trying to, just try to capture her?
Well, I think Roach would be on the same kind of wavelength as Geralt, and he's just trying to protect her at all.
Protection mode, yep.
And like he wasn't in tune with like, no, this thing wouldn't be here to hurt. It's a monster. Monsters are bad. Let's save her. I think it'd been like on that kind of thing.
And that's such a shame because what we'll see when they come back and face that monster, it very clearly looks like it does not want to attack her. It could have easily done so if it wanted to.
Just like
so I'm wondering, like where are these monsters? Well, so-called monsters. I'm not convinced that they're totally evil yet. All of them are trying to get Ciri to somewhere. But the hesitation that happens with all of them and someone or something else getting in the way is what always stops it. We've seen like 2 or 3 of these things try to go after her and get to her now.
Maybe
so there's
just
something to be said there.
Probably just wants her to like bring them back to like their actual sphere of homeland. Because it's pretty much like every time she's yelling, it's like opening up a door and like a creature comes out. So it's like, it's probably sense, okay, maybe this is the one that brought me here. Maybe that's the same thing that can actually bring me back.
I think they want to bring her back to the door as like so the generals there when the armies of legions come flocking through these doors. Like, here we go. Like, you are
see,
do it.
Wait, okay, which general are you talking about?
I think Ciri's the general. I think Ciri is like they said, she's the weapon. She's the warrior that has been made to come back and get vengeance for all the elves that got killed.
I think she's like the leader because I think those like what was it like
Hmm.
7 horse riders like those ring wraiths. They
Right,
kind of like those
right,
damn
right, right.
generals.
Yeah, she did. She did seem like she had her own personal squad of ring
I'm
raids.
telling you, yeah, I think she's the general. I think she is. She
But
is the
see,
one.
and that I find very interesting because that's not the conclusion I came to. I
What
like
you
that.
think? Of?
It's I'm sorry, I'm drinking right now. I was trying to
Okay.
remember. If I remember, I'll jump in next time. Let's go ahead.
Oh, story has to have conflict. Absolutely.
True
And
enough.
then, and then while Francesca was walking with Fringilla, she tells a story that sounded an awful lot like the one that Strogobor was telling of Falca axing her father in the neck. Now Francesca is telling us of the one slitting her father's throat. Like, is Falca going to end up being the elven name for Francesca? Are they the same person, fandom?
Hmm.
I never thought about that.
You know, in my
Well,
mind.
well. Okay, see, this is how I know DJ. I don't appreciate you actually getting better with this tinfoil, okay? Because normally you're 9 times out of 10 out of pocket, and I could put you like 20 feet deep in the ocean on the
Oh,
iceberg of thoughts and tinfoil. I don't know if I like you actually coming up with good shit right now.
oh, that is. I think it's just too close to not
Yeah,
good.
there's definitely something up with Fringilla.
There has to
And
be.
I really don't think she's the ally she wants the elves to think she is. Like I said last time, they're getting all of them together so they can firebomb them. Like the freaking I think it was last episode in the market where the mom was screaming for the guards to let her daughter go.
Mhm.
Like, where are they taking these kids and for what purpose?
Right? And Falca was also the one that said, screamed out death to all kings, while Francesca sitting here telling Fringilla that she's the face of that her people see, not Cahir or some
Hmm.
white flame. So, I mean, they just seem to be on the same path. Like,
I think the elf queen is being way too naive right now.
I think the Elf Queen is got some
She
things
might
that
already be under the spell, though.
I don't know. I think she's Falca come back to get revenge. I think they're both playing each other. They're playing nice face to face, but they both got some aces up their sleeve.
Either way, I'm here for it.
Right? And then Cahir tells us the true reason that they took Censure was to find Ciri. The White Flame really wants her. How come you think that is, AK?
I don't know. Because and the only reason I can't make a theory on that is I need more information on the white flame. It seems like from what we've seen, he's probably the one that is skin changing that owl because he's been brought up so many times, but none of us have seen him.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever is going on with his head in the prophecy that we've heard, he knows Ciri is the crux of everything that could happen. Whether he win or loses, it's going to be about how Ciri handles the situation when it comes to a head. And right now, I can say she's definitely not ready for any type of test like that. So that's even more reason for them to go hard and try to find her like they are now, so they can get her while she's still in this vulnerable state. Because if she's allowed to go through Witcher school and gain Witcher powers, even on top of her elder blood, she's gonna be a monster that they cannot beat at all. She's not.
Oh,
No one's gonna
look
be
at
able to
that.
bend her to their will.
What's up, fandom? You want to bring it home?
It's weird because the White Flame wants Ciri, and now we know from the whole prophecy thing with Ciri that she's like this ultimate like warrior.
Hmm.
And if she's the ultimate warrior, of course you want like an ultimate warrior on your side. But at the same time, with this whole ethical prophecy thing, it's like she's supposed to bring the death pretty much every race but the elves. Is the White Flame an elf? And the White Flame is not an elf. How is Ciri supposed to benefit you in the future? Unless you're
Hmm.
just gonna use it for like, against some big bad and then just do away with her at the end. So
That
it's
part.
still some mystery there with this White Flame character right here.
The White Flame just took over one of the hardest cities to take over and took out Calenthia, who many have fallen and died to. Now, what
Yep.
is something that is big enough and hard enough? What would have you ready to give up the world for to go after? What would you take
Oh.
in an
Oh
entire
shit.
city for?
Okay. Random tinfoil. I don't know. Did you guys ever watch World of Warcraft, the movie?
Nope.
Okay, well, basically, there was a very powerful mage in there, and to go in and take over lands, he would have to create portals that were powered by bodies. So basically, humans or whatever other prisoners they had, he stole their life force, and they would all die just so he can make a big enough portal to get the horde through to the land they want to invade. What if all of these elves are being gathered for a specific purpose that probably Fringilla might be the head of? She wants to have, maybe some more of these monoliths, or maybe it's not Fringilla, just someone in the mix of company that we've seen already. They want to use all those elves collectively, their magic blood, and open up a bigger portal for who the hell ever to come through and start wrecking shop. I could be off my rocker on that one,
I
but
love it. You took it
it
way
seems
out of
like a
left
fit.
field from where I was going with it. I was like, oh wow, that's a whole different dimension. I like that. You know me, I love that. But to me, it's like, what is the one thing anybody would die for? What is the one thing anybody would give up anything for, go against all odds for?
Their
Like you
child.
said, this is battling for Calinthia. This is battling Calinthia, the baddest of all. Like, she is the warlord. She's killing everybody. What are you going to chance? What is something you would chance all for and have no? I mean, you're just going for broke. There's nothing that would stop you until you get what you're looking for, and that to me is a fucking child. Like, there's
Yeah,
nothing a parent wouldn't do for their child.
for their kid. Yep.
So,
You think the white flame is Sirius' father?
of course,
Son, it's got to be in there.
come
Because
on, what is
think
it?
about this though. How long was homeboy? What the hell is the name of the animal? The porcupine head. Supposedly, Siri's father was out there in the world on the run, and Mom's has been just sitting here chilling at the castle with Maggie the Frog. And now that Geralt's here, all of a sudden the present of surprise or whatever happens, and all of a sudden this woman just throws up for no reason. It's nighttime when this damn feast is going on. You can't count that as morning sickness. So how the fuck did that even happen? Just after he said, just the law of surprise, whatever. You don't owe me no gold. I don't really care about your money, whatever. I'm gonna just have these couple sips and roll the fuck out, and we'll consider the debt paid. And then Siri comes along.
We don't even know if Dunny's the real dad. She
Yeah.
may have been in
It's
love, but
very
with somebody else. So either Dunny could be Ymir, the White
Mhm.
Flame, or that's not even the true father, which is really going to have implications, because that means the law of surprise is no longer valid, and Geralt has no right to Ciri. She's actually the White Flame's daughter, and he never had the right to surprise to Dunny. Dunny had no right to give the law of surprise up. So those two might not even. They might be destiny, but
see. That's the thing, though.
together.
Was it Dunny or was it her mom that agreed to the word law surprise? No, wait, no. Because he saved Dunny's life. Yeah.
First
You're
off,
right.
that's a messed up love story if Denny's not the freaking father.
Oh,
All that stuff is like, wait a
Bruh.
minute, so all that and Denny's not the father?
No,
And
see,
two, what you
and
said
what?
earlier, AK, about Calanthe, destroying that ship, it could have just been trying to kill Danny, but in reality, Danny lives and then the daughter dies. So now she even feels more brokenhearted, like, damn, I meant to go kill the little Danny, when in reality I end up killing my own daughter in the process.
Or she didn't have it. She didn't have any special powers. It could have been the White Flame that took that ship down. She's like, I want my daughter. You're sitting there, you two are fronting, trying to keep my daughter from me. So the White Flame sounds like he has some powers. So the White Flame is the one who used his powers to bring that ship down so he could get his baby back.
I mean, that could definitely be all true.
But
if it went down like that, I think Calanthe would be a part of that decision. Siri knows that, her grandma loves her, but there's a reason Calanthe was so pissed about her elven blood. She knew exactly what was going on. I don't think she wanted Siri out of her sight.
And maybe she knew the White Flame is elven blood,
Possibly,
blood. And that's why she's so mad, because she knew deep down, she knows that's who's coming. She knew that's who killed her daughter. She knows that's who's coming to kill her, and he knows that he's coming for Ciri because he wants his daughter back.
And that's why she became the ruthless warlord that she was. She didn't have time for anyone to put too many eyes on her family tree like they're doing now to figure out what the fuck is up with Siri.
Yeah, that would be kind of a quick twist, though, if the White Flame is actually Elven, and it seems like Kahir hates elves, and that's like his number one guy. So that's kind of a weird deal. So
yeah, all of those Nilfgaard seems like they hate elves.
Yeah, that's gonna be crazy. It's crazy. But Kahir tells us the true reason that they took Sintra, like I said, was to find Ciri, and like I said, the White Flame. I think he really wants her because he's the dad and he wants his daughter back. And then when Ciri told Geralt that she didn't think that flying monster wanted to hurt her, he stopped in his tracks. How come, fandom? Like, he grunted and seemed annoyed by that.
Repeat the question, because I got like confused by what J. Cruz said.
Oh, when Ciri told Geralt she didn't think that the flying monster wanted to hurt her, like, he stopped in his tracks and really thought about that, and then he grunted and kind of seemed annoyed.
Yeah, because even like one, a horse died for nothing. Two, this isn't the second time now where they're like questioning this. Because when that mutated Leshy was coming for them, it was like, was the mutated Leshy trying to kill them back then? Or was it trying to like save or do something with Ciri?
Yeah, that's true. J. Cruz, how did the parents die and Ciri still with the grandma? Maybe they tried to snake out through the night and got caught, and the grandma said, "No, you're going to leave her here. It's too dangerous." And because maybe you were onto something, like she does know something's going on with those boats. I'm going to sink those boats, and she's like, "No, it's too dangerous. Leave Ciri here with me. I'll protect her."
The Clancy knows a lot. That's probably didn't touch upon it. Like the Ezra, I think his name is, like, he mentioned like with that old monolith near Centra, like Clancy didn't have like anyone go near that old monolith, like, at all.
She wouldn't let anybody in, right?
Yeah, like anyone around it. So she knows too much, way too much.
She knows
something.
Yep,
that's what I'm saying. I would not put it past her to keep Ciri and let her daughter and her mans go on the ship, and some deal happened with someone and they made sure the ship crashed.
And speaking of, why was the daughter and Dunny on the run anyway? Why were they on the run in the first place? I mean, Clancy is one of the most powerful battlers and warlords in the Planetos. So it seems like they'd be safe there behind the walls with her. Why are they running in the first place? Unless they were specifically running from her.
Destiny.
Yep, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I don't think her parents would have ran from Ciri being the child of destiny for Geralt. The person that had the issue with that is Calanthe. That's why she freaking locked Geralt up when he came looking for Ciri. Remember, I said when they were getting Ciri out in the very beginning, it wasn't shown that Geralt was there, but he was already in the dungeon. And he had to escape. That's why when she sent what was his name, Mouskowitz or something or other, to go fetch the prisoner, they came back and was like, "Yeah, he's not there." That's because Geralt saw this fuck shit coming and he found a way to get out.
Unless Geralt is part of the prophecy that we don't know yet.
Could be. But the only reason they were leaving was to hide Ciri from the world, Jake says. So yeah, they said they were getting out of there basically so he couldn't come claim the lost prize. They wanted to hide Ciri from the world. But some people definitely knew more than what they were letting on. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, Maggie the Frog, she specifically say, find Geralt of Rivia.
Didn't you just know that when Geralt gave up his swords and told Ciri that they were safe in that place, that there was going to be a problem, fandom?
The moment you say this person's going to be safe somewhere, they're not going to be safe, regardless. Except for I'm pretty sure when she went to that enchanted forest, they didn't say that. So for all we know, she could have been safe in there.
No, I wouldn't put that on them at all, because once you stay, you're not allowed to leave.
Nanek tells Geralt the only way to help Ciri is to help her find what part of her is missing. What part of that is that? What part of her is missing, fandom?
I think it's pretty much like the revelation of like what she truly is. Like, I don't even think she like truly knows that she has. No, wait, she knows she has elder blood in her, but it's like, to what ends of it? Like, what's her like true mission? Yeah, exactly. Until she actually knows like who she truly is, which is like that warrior thing, then it's like, okay, now I know you're supposed to be this, powerful warrior, X, Y, and Z. What we're gonna do about it?
That's exactly what I think it is. I think the thing that's missing, the part that's missing, is family, and she needs to know about her family tree.
Exactly, and I love that, and that actually made me refresh a callback to Lovecraft Country. And there was one of the characters that I think it was Diana's mom. She played Sister Girl in Undercover Brother. She had her own mini adventure where she was like traveling the stars of different realities and whatnot. And she never knew any of that type of freedom ever existed. And as a result, when she got back, it made her stronger as a person to better equip the evils that were coming. And if y'all have not watched Lovecraft Country, go fucking watch Lovecraft Country.
Oh man,
it's on the list.
But back to the
we should cover that. DJ, put that on the list too, please.
We'll have to check into that. But Phil Evangelo notices a change in the air ever since that night came back, and Francisca tells him that she wants him where he belongs, by her side, so she can feel it too. And then back out at Karamoran, the other Witchers are trying to figure out what a mage would want with Vesemir, and then it clicks for Triss. He was after the Elder Blood. He was actually after Ciri, but he took the Elder Blood. And so she knows that's about to be a problem. She's got to get back and warn some people. And then Istrid makes his way back to the Forbidden Library and meets two very knowledgeable people. Not the library, it's actually a law firm. And these two knowledgeable people who are able to fill in a few blanks for him. And I mean, I was getting a kick watching them break all that stuff down. Like, as we're all lost as an audience, it's like they're basically telling it straight to us. I like when they do that.
Right. They were like, we said we know a lot of things. Okay, don't ask no questions.
Oh, that was pretty sick.
All right, you asked the question here. Okay, here it goes. This is what was going on with the kid. This is what might be happening with the law of surprise and whatnot. And this part right here might not actually be translated correctly. Mm-hmm. So we're gonna have to tweak that and then give you an answer. I really enjoyed those two characters because they were like the right level of smart ass petty. Like if you remember in The Princess Bride, the character Billy Crystal voiced with his wife Carol Kane when when they were trying to save Wesley. That's who they reminded me of.
Nice.
And people like that in different stories, I tend to listen to what they say, just like Old Nan.
Oh man! And then we bounce from one historian to another, where Jar is showing Ciri around the school grounds, and he brags about how powerful his tool is, but has a hard time putting it to work around Ciri. Like, I was just loving the innuendos they were giving it.
Can we not have the "my dick is bigger" thing and everything, please?
I was cracking up. And they start to say something about a myth about a long lost tower somewhere on the continent that used to connect the lost, and then basically drop the book. Like, was he telling a story about the Monolith fandom?
Oh shoot, that could actually be the place where Yennefer and Ciri went now. Uh-oh. There we go.
I was waiting for one of y'all to get to it.
Ties into it. And it's no accident that Yennefer shows up at the school at the same time Ciri and Geralt do. Like, she hears the witch saying, "Steal me," and I'm starting to worry a little bit for Ciri. I don't know what's going to happen.
Is it though? Because she really didn't look like she expected Geralt to be there. I don't know why exactly she went there, but I feel like that was one small incident of
happenstance.
She got lucky. Yeah.
I don't know. I think she knew exactly where it was, and she portaled there because she knew.
Highly possible though. She be on her espionage like that.
And then it finally happens. Now that he knows she's still alive, they meet back up face to face, and he meets back up face to face to his Yennefer, and she asks, like, "How is this possible?" And he says, "I don't care." And I don't know. Like I said, I think she knew that he was there, and she's just acting right here. I don't think that was happenstance.
Possible.
And then we see as he's walking among them that Carhier seems to have little to no love for elven people. Like, he whoops up on Dara in the swordplay for a bit, but then gets put in his place real quick by Phil Evangelo. Like, they're both lucky that Francisca's water broke, or there was about to be a problem right there.
Mm-hmm. Facts.
That would have been sweet. And I couldn't tell if Geralt was looking at Yen side-eyed that whole time or just lustfully, like, or was it a bit of both, fandom?
A bit of both. First it was lust, but at the same time he's like, since I've seen you, your heart's been racing, and story isn't the norm right now. Like, well, what's good, Yennefer? And it seemed like she was about to tell him, but at the same time, keep on getting interrupted.
Oh, Siri, suddenly feeling like a third wheel, excuses herself to go to bed, and Yen offered to walk her there. Was Yen going to try to steal her right then and there, AK?
You damn right.
Yep.
And that's not what Siri noticed at all that made her say, no, I'm okay. Go ahead. You sit down and enjoy yourself. That's her recognizing that there is some sexual chemistry there that needs to be needs to be, evolved in what it is, and she's going to her room so she doesn't have to deal with hearing that bullshit. And I can't blame her.
They said when Francesca's baby was born, it wasn't breathing. Then Fringilla picked it up, and soon it came to life. She said she didn't do anything to bring it back, but do we believe her, fandom?
At first, I'm like, nah, she didn't do anything. It was the warmth. But ever since this whole stream, I'm like, I don't know.
Changing some minds up here. And Fringilla said it was just warmth that brought the baby back to life. And earlier, Francesca told Fringilla a story about how she brought the flowers back to life with a feeling of warmth. Like, you think those stories are correlated, AK?
I think Fringilla knows how to spin the tail. And I still cannot bring myself to completely trust her at all. Okay, fine. The baby comes out and she says, it just needs a touch or whatever. The kid was not breathing. Chances are the umbilical cord was wrapped around his neck, which when I saw one of my baby cousins birth, that's what happened. I mean, it was a pretty quick thing to fix. And I believe that is what she did. I don't think that she has the power to bring people back from the dead. So that kid could not have been all the way gone if whatever she did, or, soothsaying, it being close to her heart and her being warm or whatever, that may be true, but I think there's a higher power that was looking out because
it could be the hut
they needed to have her still be good in the eyes of the Elf Queen.
Yeah, I think it's the old hut. She said, have hope. And basically, all the old girl said is, I just want this baby to be born. And yeah, yep. I think it's the old witch from the hut doing it. I think that's the one who, I think that baby was born dead, just like all elf babies are born dead.
Stillbirth, yeah.
It's that witch's magic that brought it back to life.
Oh, that just made me think. If all of the elf babies, in between all those many years, have been getting killed or they had a miscarriage or whatever, why is it that Siri and this new kid were allowed to survive?
Siri's not just an elf. Siri's something else.
Well, no, true enough. I know that, but that special gene marker is in her blood. So what the hell happened there? And also, how is it that the Elf Queen right now is able to bring a child to full term?
Like I said, I think she brought it to term. I think it was born dead, just like all the other ones. And I think that old witch brought it. It is necromancy or whatever. That old witch is the one that's.
Yeah, something's going on with that chick.
Yeah, I agree. Right now, what's up, Phantom?
Yeah, I agree with you. It's probably necromancy.
Mm-hmm. And this is cause for the entire Elven nation to just rejoice and have a party that night. And this is the first elf born in quite some time. Like, so the whole city parties like it's 1999.
Yo, they partied worse than freaking Prince Caspian when his little step cousin was born and he had to run away in Narnia. Not a good look. He was hurting.
Oh, Siri says she can't figure out the orbiculium, and Nanik says Geralt believes in you, so do I. It then pans out to like a wide shot where we see that incense burner swinging back and forth side to side, which almost looks like that orbiculium. Was that a metaphor that Siri could end up swinging either way, fandom? Like either the calm that binds the world together or the seed that burns it all down?
Most definitely. She's around the right people, I should say.
So she could go. She's still on the fence and could fall either way. It just depends on how things go.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. And then the ghost voice.
I will give you that.
Yep. The ghost voice finally tells Fringilla that they will take it. First her power, then her freedom. Is she right or just messing with Fringilla's head, AK?
Bit of both. I think Fringilla let herself get roped in a little too much after their encounter with the witch demon character, and now she's riding on the coattails of that pretty much.
That witch is making it look like she's giving them everything they ever wanted. You know it's gonna burn.
Exactly.
It's gonna burn in their face before it's all over. And then
Yeah, they're going to be scorched.
We got Geralt and Yennefer walking the halls, and he can tell there's something that she's not telling him, but it's just not working. And who is talking? Are the elderly couple at the bookshop, like with Istrid? They're figuring out all sorts of stuff together. Like even with her sarcasm on full display, like had a bit of like an eternal moment right there. Like, you know what's not helpful or would never save the world is your sarcasm. Like that's what I got out of that scene right there. It was hilarious. And then what's going on with Dara? Like, is he going to be there to help or hinder Ciri when he finally runs into her, fandom?
He ain't gonna help her one bit.
He's
I don't see it happening at all.
He's there to hurt her. He's going to be in the way and be a problem.
Most likely, he's probably gonna appear like he's gonna be helpful, but in reality, he's not.
And then the firefucker catches up with Geralt and Ciri, and we see once again how nice Geralt is when it comes to throwing them hands, because he absolutely handled all four of them bad boy brothers, and without his swords. Like, that was
easily. Yeah, Geralt is a fucking beast. There's a reason that they named him the Butcher of Blaviken, even though it was a misnomer. He still is nice with them hands. Wait, what did you say? I'm sorry.
Oh, when he blasted that fool up when he was on top of him and then made him come down like his face on a sword. Oh my god.
Seriously. It's almost the same thing as when, the firefucker tried to catch Yennefer. He lit that flame in her face and she just blew it out. And he was incapacitated after that and they got away. My guy, how did you not know that could happen with your powers?
Fire in the face.
You're an amateur.
He's just powerful. And Yennefer taught Ciri how to make a portal, and Geralt asked her to stop, and she just said, I wish I could. She knows how much Ciri means to Geralt. Like, would she sacrifice her anyway just to get her magic back, fandom?
Like I said earlier, desperate time.
Yep.
That's not good. Ciri
I don't want to believe it, but it could happen.
Good. Ciri and Yen get away, but we have no idea where, and we also saw Rennis walk through a portal. Is there any way that they're going to end up at the same place, fandom?
I highly doubt it. Unless somehow he just uses the ability to connect portals, but it was done like after she did it, so I doubt it.
Because she did make mention when her and Kahir were running through the streets. She's like, get a portal and get us out of here. She's like, portals are easily tracked. I can't do that. So,
but just like in the first season, the other freaking assassin was able to track them because they had something. Oh, wait, I forgot the blood.
Yeah.
So he probably could track her, honestly.
Yeah. And then Triss figured out what it was the fire mage came for, or at least what he took, and he came looking for Ciri, but left with that mutagen, aka her blood. So we know she's got to get back and let somebody know. And then back at the law firm, Fen is breaking it down about Ciri's family tree, reading about the curse and how the columns of time and space will tremble and open for my people. Then my vengeance will be born again. Is she talking about the monsters coming through the portals or the elves, fandom?
Either way, they're fucked.
Exactly. It don't matter which one. Bad times are coming for the humans. You done messed up. And either way, now Istrid knows that Ciri is a generational weapon. So does Triss, like who ran back to Aretuza, or so does Triss, who ran back to Aretuza to tell Tessia what's going on? Like, will the mages now go on a hunt for Ciri as well? Is that going to be a whole nother party coming after AK?
I don't think that Triss will, spread the word around to the masses. I do think that what's her name? Tessia?
Tessia,
aka Yennefer's mom. Mm-hmm. She's gonna try to find out what's going on and send help if needed, but she's not gonna make that a big deal in the council.
She's so hungry for power, and if she finds out there's something like a Ciri out there that's the ultimate power, I just can't see her not being a magnet to it.
See, is she after ultimate power though?
Mm-hmm.
I think she wants a bit more control, but I wouldn't say she wants like that absolute power. But again, I could be wrong. This is all speculation.
Yeah, but if you're not strong enough, you get turned into a sea slug, and if you do have the power, then I turn you into my baby. That's what I'm about.
Okay, and that's all well restricted in her realm of training, though. So I don't know. I suppose with her it could go either way because she does really care about Yennefer, but we need more details.
Absolutely. This show's getting so confusing, but I am loving it. I am all in. How about you, fandom? It got you sucked in hook, line, and sinker?
Most definitely, especially with this episode with those two law firm people. I'm like, let's get even more
Mm-hmm.
from them too. I need more than within this series because they
Oh
were
yeah,
breaking it down every single scene together. I loved it.
because they're
Yep.
giving us all the answers we're looking for. That's why they're the best. Like, oh, that's what that is. Oh, that makes sense. Oh, that's how that ties in. Like, yeah, I love those
It's
characters.
like that old white guy in the barber shop in Coming to America when he's telling the damn joke about the spoon. Where's the spoon? Aha!
What?
That's how we all go.
So that's it for this episode. Just gonna end on just a couple questions of trivia, but yeah, like I said, absolutely loving this, and can't wait to tie it all up next Tuesday with the last two episodes. But we're gonna get it in and see what you remember. What did they call the last of the? What do they call the last test of becoming a Witcher?
Oh shit, forgot that one.
No idea.
Bada boom, bada bing. If you know that answer, write in the comments. If you're watching later, write in the comments down below. Question number 2: what was the flying monster that killed the Witcher's horse?
Chernobog.
Absolutely. Who held Francesca's father down while she slit his throat? That's a kind of a deep dive. Who held Francisca's father
I don't
down while
remember.
she slit his throat?
I don't got that one.
Character we have yet to meet. They just said his name. Keeping it moving. Who is Matilda? Who is Melitele? That's what I guess it is. Melitele. Who is Melitele?
Goddess of fertility and harvest.
There you go.
Nice.
Who runs the school Geralt brought Ciri to?
You mean the Whisper School?
What's that?
Viola Davis.
Oh no, shit, no. That see, I remember that actress because she played Martha Jones's mother on Doctor Who.
Yeah, that's what
Damn
I'm
it.
trying to like.
Oh,
remember.
was it Nineveh?
Nenanique, yep.
Yes.
Nanika. Nanika, I think they called it. And that's what they call the school, a Nanique school. Even Vesemir called it that. Who was one of the best students that was brought into Tudor Ciri?
One of the best students to what?
Who was one of the school's best students that was brought into Tudor Ciri?
Jari, something like that.
Yep, absolutely. Jar. The couple in the bookshop said it was a mistranslation. The elves didn't make a weapon; they made a what?
Warrior.
A warrior.
That's right. What did Cod, the old man in the bookstore, call who the elves made? What was the name of the one the elves made?
It said La Dorian.
Lara Doran. Nice. Who did Rennis, the fire mage, bring to help capture Ceres?
The Michelet brothers.
Freaking sell swords.
The
Yeah,
Michelet
something brothers.
Absolutely. What was the concoction Vis and Triss whipped up called?
Vix.
The elixir?
Incorrect. If you know that one, put it in the chat box or put it in the comments down below. What was the concoction that Vismir and Triss whipped up? What was the name of that called? And last but not least, how long did Laura Dern say her curse would hound her enemies' descendants?
10 generations.
10 generations.
Unto the 10th generation. Absolutely. You guys crushed that. Like I said, we're going to have to step that up. You guys absolutely crushed trivia tonight. Well done. Well done. Oh, yeah, but that's going to do it for us. He's oh, man, that's absolutely going to do it for us. We're going to be back to wrap up The Witcher next Tuesday night. We'll try to be back on in time and not have so many technical difficulties. So I hope everybody out there is having an absolutely fantastic week, and it only gets better from here. Until we see you next Tuesday. Be easy, everybody.